job because it affords him other interesting opportunities.
Like splicing single-phase entrepreneurs in the family.
Good morning, y'all. So weighed in like 105.1 this morning, which is again kind of right on track with the whole maintenance thing. Just got to the gym. We're gonna do some trap bar deadlifts, RDLs, pendlay rows, all that good back stuff today. He's not there anymore. He's out here. Hey Dylan. Say hi.
Top gone red, I made a name for myself. Can't lie, I'm doing well for my age. My dogs said they're praying on my downfall. Well, they just choosing the casket, now they souls in the grave. I'm a dark night, but your stargaze got a hard bite. I'm a dog at the leash, better talk right.
I think before we get started, I really want to ask you a serious question, very important question.
Okay, ask. What do you got?
What happened to your ear thingies?
What happened to my ear thingies? I take them out when I sleep because they're annoying to sleep on, and I left them at home because it was early this morning. So now y'all get to stare at my holes, and I'm sure a lot of you will be triggered and feel the need to comment about how you're gonna
That was actually my comment, but
somebody did comment that, like, very forcefully. They were like, I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna put a lock in your ear and throw away the key, you stupid dum-dum.
Now getting on to the boring stuff.
Yeah.
What are you doing today?
Boring old lifting. I'm about to do my trap bar AMRAP. And last week was 515. I just found out today that this bar weighs 150 pounds, not 135. So I guess that would have been 530 last week. And I got 15 reps there, so supposed to be 78%. So after some recalculations, came up with 590 for today's AMRAPs. Probably gonna be a little closer to 7 or 8 reps, but I think that's more the intensity that is kind of intended with being prescribed at 78%. And then from there, as per usual, 4 sets, 8, and then we'll move on to some RDLs and some pendlay rows. That's the day. Back, and back day. Trying to make my back look like a butt. Today's album recommendation is going to be Anthropocentric, album by The Ocean, which incidentally, I know I was bragging about how I played with the Devin Townsend project with my old band. That same show, The Ocean played as well, and we were out in the alley loading our gear up because essentially the producers or the production company that was putting on the show, as soon as we played, said, okay, now get your shit out of here. And we were out in the alleyway, and they were one of my favorite bands at the time. And I remember listening to them from the alleyway because we had to go get the van from like 3 blocks away, pull it around, load all our crap out. And I was like, oh, I love this song, faintly through the brick walls of the venue. It was sad, but really good album, so check it out.
Wide awake, while they slipping, I won't die today, won't you listen? Squinting, eyes dilating, a pine box, I'm drifting. Mud in my pockets, fingertips gripping the locket. Liquor spilled on designer watches. Oh yeah, that new body better be Versace when I get excited. Wildin', the kingpin of Sandcastle Asylum's dry, but I'm dying to be thirsting. My nerves are jerking, I'm clawing, draw my breath to the surface. Surfing at the most high, now undeserving. Return to the dirt, the earth I'm in, they used to follow me. Guess they never knew that I'm just dust. Brick and mortar, under the thumb of the Lord, I get crushed. Don't mean much, now I get stuck. I'm only flesh, I'm only blood. All my words, holy aroma, or the smoke of the untouched. I see doves, I see fire fall like tongues of riot. My place is among the stars. I see the tale of the one who spoke with the desire to take the place of the sun. But no devil could topple them. Hand over this metropolis, see rain. Floodlight, let me be a floodlight. All I feel is sunlight to set them free. They could be wide awake, so they can see it all. Floodlight, all I feel is sunlight to set us free. We could be wide awake, so they can see our God. If I ain't looking for the king in an empty tomb, remind them that and he's coming soon. We like many moons, give me room, let me breathe. Losing lung capacity, Though the paralysis sweeping over me, never oversleep. Wake me up, shake me from lonely dreams. I need to be wide awake. Please don't let me die today. Flash your lights, we can see the change in hue, red and blue. They gaining speed, what am I supposed to do? Running from the law, my number's been drawn, and I could never measure up or measure it all. I am but a man with no grace of my own. Look at my hands, I am not scarred for you all. This is why I fall down at the feet of the king. Submission is a mission.
So I just got my RDL AMRAP done. Managed to maintain at 11 reps. Up 5 kilos from last time, so 440 pounds, 200 kilos for a set of 11 there. Still conventional patterns, feeling really good this block between trap bar and the RDLs. Feel like limiting that range of motion is a big one for me. Having to pull off the floor, I think it's tough for me to get into a good position, and I think that contributes to my sort of pain when it shows up. But to be fair, I think the last time I did a washout and did conventional pulls, I was up around 200, 205 for 10. So it's not bad. It's not bad considering that I couldn't pull 150 from the floor a while ago. Things are improving. So with the conventional pattern getting better, I'm hopeful that the squat will start to feel better soon too. I mean, it kind of has been, but yeah.
We have a question.
What do you got for me, Dildo?
Video. Stop talking over me. We have a question on our last video.
Yeah.
This one comes from my longtime childhood friend, Mr. Potato Head.
Oh. What is his picture appropriate?
No, it just says M on it, but no picture.
Come on, buddy,
But,
get it together.
This question is,
You have the perfect opportunity.
I don't know why he'd want to know this, but do you do any specific neck training, or is it good genetics and a small head?
I don't know if my head's that small, but yeah, I don't really do any specific neck training. I did, however, and I brought this up a lot in the last few videos, but I played in a metal band for a while and did a lot of head banging and hair whipping. Had dreadlocks for a while, so that weighs you down. Yeah, actually I've been asked a surprising number of times whether or not I train my neck. I don't think my neck's that big, but I don't know, bigger than your average Joe perhaps. Cool.
What are you heading into?
So I'm gonna do 4 sets of 8 at a weight I haven't calculated yet for the RDLs, and then we're into pendlay rows, and that's the day. It's a good back day. I honestly feel like if I end up with a bit of a sore back, this day it's probably one of the best things that I can do for it. Training my back seems to make my back feel way better, less pain, less stiff. So that's kind of cool because I think that runs counter to what a lot of people think. You know, like, oh, my back's stiff, I'm gonna skip this and skip that, and I'm not gonna do any back work. But for me, heavy-ish back work seems to really help my back feel better. So maybe try it out next time your back's sore.
Putt, passing a minute. Circle with my boys, roll the weed, and this is it. Line up the streets like a forest fire. We're smoking the bear hat. Preacher try to top it, we ain't really trying to hear that. It's a little teenage angst with some men. To get, you know, these kids that get belligerent. Better in this world, we unprepared. Just peer pressure strong, and it was never cool to care about the consequences. Flash 4 or 5 years, and the story done changed. See, I did a little going on. It's crazy how perspective change. Still it took a fatal accidental overdose in the circle just to wake me up in time for me to get it. The fabric of this life is delicate and most of many chances unstable, but I never fully ripped it. I remember back then when we were so cool, getting into trouble, never following the rules. Nowadays things change, and now you're cold-blooded every time I try to tie you.
The question comes from a guy named Louis Bui. I probably butchered that. L-U-I-B-U-I.
Okay.
And he wants to know if you have any tips on finding optimal squat stance.
Finding optimal squat stance. Honestly, I'd say most of the time you should just start right around shoulder width, slightly inside, slightly outside. Depends if you have an inclination to start with. And take a look at your squat from the front. Generally, in some situations where we can see people's knees caving in, a lot of times that's because their stance is too wide. Still good? Okay. So a lot of times if people put their stance too wide, they won't be able to support the kind of stacked joints that we're looking for. So a lot of times you'll see the knees cave in because we're not built to be that externally rotated. So if you see that, one thing to try is moving your stance inward. If you're having trouble getting depth, that could be an indication that you need to go either wider or narrower. A lot of times it's just experimentation. Like, film your squats from the front and from the side. Do some with a wider stance, do some with a narrower stance. Make some notes about how comfortable they feel. Probably want to work with about 70-75% so you have a little bit of weight on the bar to give you some feedback, and make your decision from there. Another potential thing to try would be to program wide stance squats and narrow stance squats, kind of like I would recommend somebody try out conventional and sumo, and see if one becomes way more comfortable or becomes way stronger throughout the course of a training block where they're running concurrently. So there's a couple different options there. Hopefully one of those works for you.
And also, yeah, how did your training go?
It went really well. I think over the course of this training block, I've really grown to like this day specifically. I think before, when I first started, it was not my favorite. It just felt really tedious. But I kind of grew to love the trap bar as much as it's giant and a pain in the ass to get out from behind all the strongman implements. I really like RDLs because they allow me to kind of push pretty hard in a conventional pattern, which is something I haven't done in a long time. So it's kind of novel, kind of fun. And pendlay rows, I mean, they're cool. I do them every so often. They're not as strict as I would like. I think maybe next block I'll kind of dial it back and use a more strict pendlay row. But yeah, overall I like the back day. Feels good. Like I said earlier, it makes my back feel good. So yeah, that's about it for today. So we'll wrap it up with that. Keep your eyes peeled. We're working on some new designs for apparel that are going to come out hopefully in October or so. We should be getting samples. Mid to end of September, so we'll be able to post some pictures of that kind of stuff. But we're super excited about the designs that we have, and I think, you know, Dylan's been working his ass off on it, so I'm really excited to see those kind of to the point where we can share them with you guys. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I'm going to be heading into the washout right away, so the real cut starts soon. So maybe we'll touch a little bit more on nutrition and talk a little bit more about that in the coming weeks' vlogs. The next 2 will be during my washout and with much more decreased calories. Like I said at the beginning of this video, kind of just maintaining through the dev block, but I have managed to lean out a little bit, so that's exciting. Anyways, I'm done jabbering. We'll see you guys all in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Hit subscribe if you haven't. Like the video if you liked it. And ask us more of those questions in the comments below. It gives a nice flavor to the videos. Bye, guys.